Listen, make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new. And honey, I am back in the building. Listen, now this time, honey, I have been studying up on this case that took place with the TikTok influencer ordered to pay $1.75 million for destroying manager's marriage. North Carolina is one of the few states that allows jilted spouses to sue someone for interfering in their marriage. Okay. I thought that the girl was her best friend. Thought it was on some Kelly Price. She was a friend of mine. Anyways, honey, as I was studying this case and, looking at different reviews of the case, that took place. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. Make sure you did your research. I would love to know how y'all feel about this. Should this be a real thing? And I got to thinking about Martell and Melody and Arion, and not just their specific situation, right? But should this be a real thing that we sue someone for interfering in a marriage, specifically if it's ours? Because I feel like, you guys, the whole side chick thing is at a all-time high. And Arion Curry has really showed people that, she don't care that, she destroyed Melody and Martell's marriage, and we know that Martell helped to destroy it too. But I feel like there's this new thing where a lot of side chicks feel like there won't be any consequences or repercussions of doing this to someone's marriage. What do you guys think? So I'm getting ready to read more information on this situation because I find it fascinating. This situation is just very interesting. And then I'm going to get into the Arion Curry of it all. So it says, Durham, North Carolina, a North Carolina woman will have to pay $1.75 million after a jury found her liable for destroying a Durham couple's marriage. The lawsuit filed in Durham County Court accused Brene Kennard, an influencer with nearly 3 million followers on TikTok and 274,000 followers on Instagram, of seducing and having an affair with her manager, Tim Montague. She has received justice from losing her husband and the father of her children, said Robinetta Jones, who was the attorney for Akira Montague, Tim Montague's ex-wife. The jury found Kennard liable for criminal conversation and alienation of affection. North Carolina's alienation of affection law allows a spouse to sue the person they blame for an affair that ends a marriage. And these two have 2 children, Tim and Akira. So, she not only helped to break up their marriage, but their family, right? And we know that that's when Arion began dealing with Martell, when those children were really young, right? And she went on to get pregnant, we'll say allegedly, but multiple times by Martell, and then ended up having her baby. Now, my whole thing with the Arion of it all is, if Arion was sued, I think her behavior would have went very different. Number one, she wouldn't have had the $1.7 million to pay. She would have to get a real job and pay it. She would be forced to humble herself instead of saying things like, yeah, I took her nigga with my eyes closed. Yeah, because I do feel like the side chicks on the come up are Arions in a sense. Yeah, I took her man, and they feel like it has upped their self-esteem. They really that girl. How many times have we heard Arion say that, right? Yeah, I'm that bitch. I'm Ari. Martell wanted something young and spicy, and Melody just wasn't giving that. Like the same way that this girl Brene taunted Akira is the same freaking way that Arion taunted Melody and was throwing it in Melody's face that she just had her man. What she sat on his face. What was something about Thanksgiving? It was older, you guys, right? I'm just going back in time. But I was just like really like looking at this case like this shit with Martell, Melody, and Arion, it would have played out differently if they would have put this little bitch in her place, if they would have had this type of law in Huntsville. This shit would have went differently. And no, we do not want Melody in a burning house with Martell. That's not where I'm coming from. Because Martell, is narcissistic. He is not a good man, Savannah, okay? So we're glad that Melody got away from him, but what I'm saying is, guys, like, that whole thing with him could have went totally different if this whole alienation of affection thing was applied to the situation. Okay, so let's go on to read about the case. She has received justice from losing her husband and the father of her children, said Robinetta Jones, who's the attorney for Akira Montague, Tim Montague's ex-wife. The jury found Kennard liable for criminal conversation, like I said, and the alienation of affection. North Carolina's alienation of affection law allows a spouse to sue the person they blame for an affair that ends a marriage. Akira Montague, who brought the suit to civil court, married Tim Montague on October 20th, 2018, according to the lawsuit. Akira Montague claimed that the affair caused her mental anguish, damage to her health, and deprived her children of a two-parent household. I saw the girl. She is beautiful. And, like, who he cheated with. Ugh. But, girl, some of these niggas, honey, they don't care about looks, honey. All they care about is they loins, okay? I'm just saying, listen, okay? So, it's just crazy. It's crazy. So, Kennard slammed the verdict, saying Akira Montague knew her marriage was over and allowed the affair. Okay? So, that was Brene that said that. Yeah. Brene said that. That don't even sound right. Who would allow an affair? And these two were friends, and then the guys were cousins. Brene's husband was cousins with Tim. She gave her consent, Kennard said. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done. No, that don't even sound right. Who gets married to get divorced? Who gives somebody two babies to get divorced? It doesn't like fundamentally make any sense, right? The alleged affair played out both in the manager's home and on Kennard's social media, Akira Montague claimed. Tim Montague eventually left his wife for Kennard. In previous North Carolina cases involving alienation of affection, plaintiffs have received millions of dollars. Ciao. When you are thinking about alienation of affection, you have to think about the humiliation that the spouse went through. Miss Kennard flaunted her relationship with a married man, just like Arion did, except we know with her and Martell looked embarrassed by those pictures. He's just recently kind of been showing up at events, for her, like doing the bare minimum. But there looked like there was some shame in those pictures. Right? Miss Kennard flaunted her relationship with the married man, says Montague's attorney, Robinetta Jones. And of course it went viral and my client was humiliated as a result of that. Montague said she found out about the affair between her husband, Tim Montague, and Kennard. She became sick to her stomach. I literally was dizzy, like I was about to faint. Akira Montague told our sister station WTVD. It was like I just got hit by a car. And the emotion of like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm alive right now. Akira Montague and Jones presented more than 700 pages of evidence, which included photos, videos, and text messages. It was a lot, but that it was lifted once we got our verdict, says Montague. The lawsuit alleged that Kennard flaunted her relationship with Tim Montague to her more than 3 million social media followers and claimed that she could not wait to become his wife. Yeah, went on to marry the man. I want people to be able to think, okay, Mrs. Montague won $1.75 million, said Jones. Is that man worth it? And then the man ain't got no job and she gonna have to pay the child support. Like, that would make a bitch think twice though. So I'm kind of liking, this law. Okay? Is that man worth it? Is the woman worth it? They will think now. She posted online that she wanted to be Mrs. Montague, and I believe she did everything she could. After the Montagues' marriage ended in divorce, Tim Montague and Kennard got married. Whew. Well, to become Mrs. Montague, that's her last name. But at what cost? Instead of being famous, she's infamous, Jones said. And it's being reported that Tim and Brene used to date when they was back in school. And she had, said that she had missed him and she didn't feel the compatibility with her own husband. Tim has, we'll say, allegedly kind of came out with the same story. Like, he wasn't really into his ex-wife like that, right? I was deeply in love with that man and that I would do anything for him. I made sure that I put him first, and I shouldn't have. Akira Montague added, she's worth everything for him. Like he's worth everything to her. Akira Montague has since returned to work since the verdict. The people at my job, they kind of got rid of some stuff because they thought I wasn't coming back because of how much that I was awarded, she said. She also has plans to finish college and buy a home for herself and her young children, ages 4 and 6. In North Carolina, the alienation of affection law states that if a marriage ends in divorce because of infidelity, the husband or wife, in certain situations, can sue the person with whom the spouse had the affair. Additionally, a plaintiff in such case must prove that the marriage is a loving one and that the marriage must continue while the infidelity is taking place. This is what happened with Melody, Martell, and Arion. And the third party must have knowledge of the marriage. She knew that they was married and she didn't give a damn. Okay? Because this was her sick and pathetic and twisted way of trying to compete where she doesn't compare with Melody and, bragging about, stealing her husband. So, like I said, I just wonder how this shit would look now if her ass had to pay up. What y'all think? I was raised to respect marriage. I was raised to respect God. So loyalty, marriage, and the White House with the picket fence and the dog and the kid. That's me. Akira Montague said, I was deeply in love with that man, that I would do anything for him. I made sure that I put him first and I shouldn't have. Ciao. The Durham jury awarded Akira Montague $1.5 million for alienation of affection, $250,000 for criminal conversation, the legal term for having sexual intercourse with someone else's spouse while they were married and before a legal separation. She doesn't regret it, said Akira Montague of Kennard's actions. Like she said, I'm just bitter because she took my husband. Don't that sound like Melody, Arion, and Martell to you? Sound like Arion, don't it? Okay. Those were her words. That's what she told the jury. That's the woman that is accountable for her actions. that is not accountable for her actions and does not show any remorse for breaking up a family. Meanwhile, Akira Montague said she does her best to shield her children from all of the hate and death threats they have received. It was horrible. I don't like going out in public with my kids because I get stopped in the store, she said in tears. I can't have fun with my kids to this day. People harass me and them, and it's hard. She has an outpouring of support from everyone online and just here in the state of North Carolina because a lot of women can resonate with her, Jones said. She has a voice for women that have been hurt by friends and by a loved one. So a lot of people say that they can recognize themselves in my client. Ooh, child. What y'all think about that? So now we got Arion Curry, who is no stranger to drama. She made her debut on the show as the longtime mistress to Martell Holt. Now, she has never really been on the show, just on the phone, right? To make matters worse, Holt was married to the producer of the show, Melody Cherie. Naturally, fans of the series were shocked, with many expressing their disgust online. But later, Cherie revealed that she was expecting her fourth child with Martell Holt. And in an effort to try to make their relationship work, she halted divorce talk. But in season 2, when she found out that Holt was still seeing Curry, she revisited the decision. And in 2020, she officially filed for divorce. Soon after, Curry announced that she was pregnant with her first child and that the father was none other than Martell hook-headed Holt. And after a series of breakups, the on-again, off-again couple has fans wondering when the twists and turns will stop. Arion Curry has received quite a bit of backlash over the years for helping to break up a marriage, but in an interview with Tasha K, she says that Martell Holt was actually the one to initiate the relationship. You still could have said no. You still didn't have to pick up your phone. So everything being on Martell, no ma'am. She says they met at a barbecue in Huntsville after he sent his cousin to start a conversation with her. Curry says, I did notice him. I thought he was nice looking. Martell is attractive to me, but I didn't pursue him, she says. She reveals that she gave his cousin her number to give to Holt. And he called her immediately afterwards. I gave her my number. She gave my number to him. He called me maybe like 5 minutes later and he was outside in his car. He said, come outside and talk to me. And I came outside and talked to him. But in an appearance on an Instagram Live, Curry warns viewers not to believe everything that they see on television. She says that despite her reality TV persona, she is actually very different in real life. Child, that's what they all say. Stop believing everything y'all hear them bloggers put out, she advises, before later saying you can do 1,001 things good. The minute you do one thing bad, people say, oh my God, she's the worst person in the world. Ain't nobody thinking about y'all. Curry told Tasha K she had no clue that Holt was married when they first met, and despite finding him attractive, she reveals that the two remained friends for 8 or 9 months before starting their affair and sleeping together. Now, this is the thing, and this is what I've been telling you all throughout the years with my commentary. This woman stayed messing with this man because she was even more turned on by who he was married to. See, these women, they don't just mess with these men for the men. The men want to think that, right? That's how the men want to think. Oh, she here for me. Oh, she love me. She just can't get enough of me. No, you have a nice looking wife. Okay? An ambitious wife. Somebody that makes shit happen. Okay? She's attracted to that too. And when a woman has low self-esteem, low self-worth, when a woman feels like she can't get her own man, somebody else's man will do. Okay, and then she can compete and compare, and just think of it like this. If I think that a woman is better than me, she looks better than me, and I end up with her man, it's like, oh, I fell on top of the world. I feel like I could do anything. I'm that bitch. I'm Big Ari. They just mad. She just mad that I took her nigga with my eyes closed. Okay, do y'all hear that? Her getting a high. Her self-esteem getting a high. Okay? From allegedly stealing Melody's man. Because I don't feel like you stole anything. You still on the bench. Okay? And he never married you. Even in the situation with what's the girl name? The TikToker. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That man went on to marry that woman. And you just got a baby. It's all sick, though. And twisted. Okay, so let's go back in time and see what the people thought about the whole Arion of it all. We know that the people think she a hot ass mess, honey. Especially, after she did that sit down with Tasha K. But like I said, and I want to keep reiterating that if they had that alienation of affection law, like if they put that in more states, we would see less Arions. We'll see less Arions, less Michaels. No offense to the niggas with the name Michael, but y'all know what I'm saying. I think we would see less of this if there was a dollar amount, especially in the millions. And then this bitch ain't got no money, so she would have never been bragging. And when the bragging dried up, she went to crashing out and talking about it's disturbing her mental health. And it's like, bitch, did you care about Melody's mental health? What about her children, her and Martell's children? Okay. So yeah, there is this like recklessness with women like Arion. And I just feel like they really do need this in more states. Now, not every situation applies, right? I think we can all admit to that. But to me, this would definitely be one of them. This is like, yeah. So one person says, her and Mel are really similar. Say, what now? How is they similar? They damn sure don't look alike. Like night and day. So similar that it's actually scary. Martell definitely has a type. What's the type? These niggas, when they cheat, I hope you all are noticing, they don't have a type. It could be a personality thing. It could be just sex in some of these situations. You just never know where the nigga is coming from. Whoever he pick out, you just never know. And we do know that sometimes couples, outgrow each other, and that's different if it happens between the couple, right? But there are people that take a lot of look at me, can't talk, a lot of pride and pleasure in disrupting people's marriages. They do. It's a sport to them. Look at Kim Zolciak. Okay? It's like how I start is how I'm a finish. Okay? This is a career to some of these people. And then they drag Kim Zolciak into that man's marriage falling apart that she messing with. It's a mess, and you already in debt trying to pay everybody back, and now you probably about to pay some more money for interfering in this man's marriage. It's not worth it. Arion seems down to earth and cool. Shit. I like Mel, but she was a stick in the mud. She wasn't fun. Everything was all about image with her. That's how I feel. Child. Who the hell is... Look, who the hell is you, and what the hell you talking about? Look, somebody done told you wrong. Another person, that woman has no scruples. She basically said she didn't care where the relationship was or wasn't going. She just wanted to say she just wanted to stay with a married man. I told y'all, it's like Martell to me became even more appealing because he was married. Because some women that are sick like Arion, they feel like, yeah, but he's a commitment type, or he's going to be around for a long time because look, he married he married that woman and had children, with her and provided. So that is how a lot of these people are looking at this stuff, unfortunately. Like, oh, he's married, that's a plus. And I believe I heard somebody say that, like, a lot of women, like, they like married men because to them it's a sign that he can commit. But is it a sign he can be faithful? Because if he cheat on her, he's definitely cheating on you. And Arion has never wanted to marry Martell because she already knows. She already know how it's go play out. And she don't want to look even more stupid than what she already looks. This man was divorced, Melody divorced him, and then it's like he started dating all these other women, everybody but Arion. Even Melody was able to come out and clock that, and Arion looked stupid. And then she made some backdoor agreement with Martell that they need to pop up and act like they got plans with each other so she don't look stupid. Okay, make it make sense. Oh, another person says, I don't see how she's reminiscent of male. She's similar to Martell in looks and behavior. Oh, child. It's a mess. Another person says, and I think she purposely studied Melody's behavior. Look at her walk. Okay? Look at how she mimics everything that Melody does. She looks nothing like Mel. Another person, their mannerisms are the same. If they are the same, it's because this girl is a monitoring spirit of Melody, but she doesn't give me Melody. Melody is very original. She is with like how she speaks. Absolutely. Another person, you should never build your happiness on another woman's tears. That part. But it's a sport to some of these women, you guys. That's why they need to put the alienation of affection in more states. I'm going to look at the other states that's in. I think that's important. Another person says, imagine a married man can't get enough of you, but once he's divorced, he doesn't stay with you. He dates everybody but you. Yeah, that part. Okay? Because when she wasn't getting her way from Martell, when she wasn't getting her way with Martell, I should say, what was she doing? Crashing out. Why y'all talking about me? Why y'all watching me? Bitch, why you online? Okay? Why are you online? Another person. What troubles me about this whole situation the most is the fact that Martell's cousin, a female cousin at that, was okay with helping Martell cheat on his wife. These family members and friends will smile in your face all day while knowing that your spouse is cheating is very scary. Look at the Scotts. Maurice even lied about it down to the reunion. I ain't never been around him when he was with her. And I do believe if you are around him and her, I believe when I was around him and her, I could be more of an influence. Did you stop them from fucking, nigga? Well, no. Well, then you ain't no damn influence. Even Latifah called out Maurice. Like, nigga, you lying. Even the women knew, right, guys? Latifah and Kimmy, they didn't try to help Melody. Okay? Another person, she will look back on this in 10 years and realize how much she allowed herself to make terrible decisions involving another couple's marriage. Another person says this is terrifying because the lady that cheated with a married man genuinely believes she had the right to be with that man, but on the same token, she thinks Melody needs to shut her mouth. Very scary. Yeah. You get an deranged entitlement, right? You get you feel entitled to somebody else's spouse. And you're saying, well, they keep calling me. They over here with me. Yeah, for right now. And then when you're going through it because he's with another woman, now it's unfair. Okay? Now you in your feelings. Now you crashing out. Now y'all remember hearing that audio? What was it? Original Straight No Chaser. She had some type of audio with her and Arion. And, I don't know if it was her or, because I know it was some more audio with her talking with Yolanda, but I heard something of the sort of, yeah, well, if Martell don't get his shit together, then I'm going to be leaving and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And right. She ain't went nowhere. Another person, no nursing degree, no builder's license, her own definition of a 2-parent household, no remorse, and she mad at Oprah. Ooh. Child. Remember, she was supposed to come out with a book on this. Okay? It's a mess. Another person says, what really put the nail in the coffin for me was her interview with Tasha K. And Tasha was trying to get her to see Melody's perspective as a woman, as a black woman, as a mother, and she couldn't even apologize for her part. Also, when she said she was iffy about getting married because of the statistics of men cheating when she literally is a mistress and a mattress, okay, and was sleeping with a married man. They can't cheat by themselves. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. She is so stupid. So the states that recognize alienation of affection lawsuits are Hawaii, Illinois, Mississippi. Look, that reminded me of what is Letitia and Glenn, honey, okay? Letitia, girl, gonna get you a lawsuit, girl. New Mexico, North Carolina, which is who I was just talking about, South Dakota, and Utah.